Yo, what's good? It's Skano. Yeah, we all have goals, right? Well, many of us, because some of us don't know where the hell we going. That was me for a long time. But many of us have goals, ambitions, and understand, for the most part, you won't get support. I'm saying from the people around you. Uh, if you have something you pushing for, maybe it's you want to go back to school, further your education. Maybe you want to stop banging, get out the streets, make a change. You're not going to have much support from the people around you. Understand that. And I'm not saying that to say that they want to see you down bad but oftentimes the people around you that aren't, on a certain frequency or once you start changing up like on some evolution type shit, like you're trying to evolve, you're trying to progress, um, that's going to threaten them. That's going to threaten them, they sense of, because that holds a mirror up to them, you know. It makes them start thinking and looking at themselves, like, and most people get comfortable. So once you start switching up, you start trying to evolve, don't be surprised if the people around you are, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily hating, but don't expect, and as a matter of fact, never seek validation from others. You know, uh, even your parents, man. If you have a goal set out, the first thing you obviously have to do is believe in you. I don't care where you're coming from. It's I don't care if you're coming from the projects, what the worst slums, and we know all the obstacles that exist. Believe in yourself. I don't care if nobody else around you believes in your cause, or you know what I'm saying. You may not receive any encouragement. You actually might get hated on because, like I said, people that ain't going nowhere or they really don't have no idea of what their purpose is, they will hate a person with some purpose more than they hate somebody with money, man. Man, you can go jack some and get some money. But purpose, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out here, and I was one of them people. Just no direction, really. Yeah, get money, woo woo, but where are you going? So it start with that dream, right? But don't just stop there. Don't let nothing get in your way, man. Not having kids, um, you know, not a spouse, nothing. You have to be single minded, and whatever that objective is, that has to be your primary focus. Don't let nothing deter you from it. Because trust me, man, them demons, and I speak in the spiritual often because, you know, in my mind, the spiritual and the physical realm are intertwined, you know, and it really is. You're going to have demonic entities, negative energy that's trying to stop you, that's trying to put doubts in your mind, you know, trip you up anyway, especially if if you down with Christ. You already know. But regardless, believe in yourself, man. I don't care what no one says. I don't care if everybody around you is putting you down. You can't do it. What are you doing? Woo, woo. Believe in yourself and don't ever give up on yourself. And if you have a goal, if you have a goal, don't let nothing get in the way. Because a lot of times, life happens. We have kids, you know, different situations occur, maybe a health issue, things occur, life happens. And we are set out on a certain path, and next thing you know, you're somewhere else. And you're like, what? This wasn't a plan. This wasn't a plan. But, I got these bills to pay, I got these kids to take care of, woo woo. Regret, man. Uh, I wasted a lot of time and money in my life. I've seen a lot of people get put up, whether in the prison system or in the ground. And almost all of them had some goal, that they will routinely discuss, but just kept putting off, you know. And like I said, life happens, man. I'm going for mine. I'm going for mine. And if I die in the process, then that, so be it. But as far as sitting around and, I'm not letting life get in the way of what my goals are anymore. I'm not letting no individual, no relationship, you know. So, because at the end of the day, man, one of the worst things I believe, and just on my experience, is looking back and having regret. And I'm not talking about remorse for something you did wrong or maybe somebody you screwed over or whatever. I'm talking about regretting lost time. That, to me, that's the worst. And that's why, like, I had to cut the streets go, because anything that's going to put me in a situation where I may have to sit in it, I did my little time. I'm not going back. I don't have to. Time is the most precious commodity. There's a lot of people out here just wasting time, you know, just kicking it, chilling, getting high, woo woo, going in and out the joint, and you think you really, you know, wasting time, precious time that we ain't never get. I don't know. I'm gonna see the afterlife. This is it. There's no time to waste. So I'm saying, you got to go set out and make sure you got people around you. If they not supportive of what you know what I'm saying, then maybe you need to let that go, because like I said, even spouses, man, for whatever reason, there seems to be some resentment, some animosity when you all of a sudden start to, elevate the way you're thinking, the way you move, and all that, all across the. People will notice. You ain't got to be, putting it out there. People will notice, man, and it threatens them. So don't look for no validation. Don't expect no encouragement. It got to come from here. You know what I'm saying? And a strong will can defeat almost any circumstances. Obviously, there's things that occur in life that I don't care, it is what it is. Like I said, health issues, you never know when you go. You go when you go, but as far 99.9% of it is up here. I don't care if you from the slums, the worst ghetto, you can accomplish what you want to accomplish. It's gonna be extra hard, obviously. If you coming from the slums, it's gonna be extra. But it's not impossible. Especially if you've made up in your mind what you're gonna do. And you can't let nobody get in the way of that. Nobody, nothing, not money. You know what I'm saying? Because a short term quick payoff sometimes, and then next thing you know, and there you go, you caught up in it. And the real goal, the real purpose, it get farther and farther away before, and you don't even, it's blurry. Now it's distant. Now you can't even recall. You've been trapping so long, you can't even recall. You've been in and out of prison so long, you can't even remember what your true dream was. That person is non-existent anymore. But like I said, man, believe in yourself. Point blank. You gotta believe in yourself. And this sound like, common sense. There's a lot of people out here struggling with self-doubt. You just don't believe that you can do it. Whatever that may be. You're looking around, maybe your parents drug addicts. I know all about that. You're looking around, your family members, they in the streets, they caught up in gangs. I know all about that. You walk outside, you're looking around, and it's like desolate. Man, it's like, How? It start up here. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, let nothing stop you but death. Outside of that, nothing will stop you if you've made up your mind you're going to do it. 216 Skano, you already know.